If I ask you to close your eyes and imagine a serving of creamed spinach, what color is it? Is it off-white with streaks of green in it, something that could reasonably be confused with spinach artichoke dip? Today, I wish to put you onto a take on creamed spinach that isn't 40% cheese, a version that came to me via a now defunct YouTube channel called Let's Get Fat, which was run by Playboy. And instead of dwelling too long on the fact that my favorite highbrow side dish for 10 years comes from a nudie mag derivative, I'd rather show you how it's supposed to be made. Step 1 is to come to terms with the fact that you're about to dirty what feels like too many dishes for a vegetable-based side dish. A pot, a pan, a bowl, a food processor. Go into this knowing that you'll be doing dishes for 3 minutes more than you're used to. Step 2 is to make a green spinach cream. You do this by getting a big pot of water to a boil, chucking in 2 packed cups of spinach, and pulling it out right as it turns bright green, about 40 seconds. You plunge the spinach into ice water so it doesn't overcook. After it's cooled down, squeeze all the excess water out from the leaves. All of those leaves shrink down to a 1/4 cup. Put that hunk of spinach in a food processor with a pinch of salt and just enough cream to make the blades go to work. You need everything broken down into tiny flecks. This light green spinach cream will serve as the base of the dish. The process so far already sounds laborious and chefy. I know, I come bearing great news. You can buy frozen spinach that's been blanched and chopped ahead of time. Make sure you buy a block or a bag of frozen spinach that's deliberately packaged as ready to eat. Some brands don't blanch it first, and those are meant to be cooked before eating, lest ye risk a foodborne illness. Others are marketed for use right out of the bag, like for a smoothie. And when you've got blanched, chopped spinach on hand in the freezer, all you gotta do is blend a 1/4 cup chunk of it with cream and salt. Now you've got the same fancy spinach cream in a 1/4 of the time with no dirty pot nor bowl. On to the next component. In a pan heated to medium-low, melt 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter and add to it 2 cloves of minced garlic. Not jarlic, but freshly minced, honest-to-goodness garlic. There aren't enough components in this dish to hide subpar ingredients. Keep things moving so the garlic can't burn, and once you notice it turning blonde and smelling toasty, in go 4 packed cups of fresh baby spinach. Season the leaves with salt immediately. The salt pulls water out of the spinach, and having that water in a hot pan makes it so the garlic can't burn. When you see water starting to collect in the pan, add another tablespoon of butter and stir aggressively so that the butter and water emulsify. That should only take half a minute. Now you can lower the heat as low as it gets without turning off and coat your cooked leaves in the green spinach cream. I'm using like a half cup's worth here. You'll probably have some of that cream left over, but depending on the size of your food processor, it can be hard to make a smaller batch than what I made. Keep everything moving so it combines and emulsifies properly. Then cut the heat and add a wee little bit of nutmeg. You're gonna wanna taste this dish a couple times before serving it. Cream and butter are high in fat, and fat needs a lot of salt, so the first bite will probably taste under-seasoned. That's good. You wanna have some headroom to shave in some pecorino cheese, which is so salty it behaves, basically, like salt. The nutmeg should be perceptible yet unidentifiable. When the salt and the meg are both on point, plate it up alongside a centerpiece dish like grilled ribeye. This is a side dish that punches above its weight class for a couple reasons. It's familiar, yet more chic than the standard version. It's like 6 ingredients, but cooked into something more elegant than the sum of its parts, with a requisite level of technique that says, I'm good at cooking, and it refrigerates nicely for leftovers. You can zhuzh it up on day 2 by sprinkling toasted panko breadcrumbs on top. In the end, I know that there's no dish that could ever dethrone nondescript roast veggies as everyone's default side dish, but for the days on which peeling, dicing, and turning the oven to 450 for roasted yams sounds like too much, Playboy creamed spinach is always ready to crank out. I hope that's a convincing call to action, because using the words yams, creamed, and cranked that closely in succession means I have to file a monetization appeal now. I'm willing to make one last concession, and it's this. If you're feeling a sense of dismay this close to the end of the video because you came in hoping to learn how to eat more leafy greens but know in your heart of hearts that you'll never be bothered to make the green spinach cream, let good triumph over perfect. Melt butter over medium-low heat, crush a clove of garlic into the fat, stir it around until it's lightly toasted, and add nothing more than 2 handfuls of spinach and a pinch of salt. The leaves will wilt down into a garlicky spinach side dish that you can shovel down by the spoonful. Garlic butter makes anything taste good. It may not satisfy this video's original conceit, but it does leave you with a surprisingly tasty vegetable component in a matter of minutes. The purpose of this lesson was to show you how great creamed spinach can be, but if the secondary function reveals how to prevent that plastic clamshell of spinach from liquefying in your fridge tomorrow, I'll take it. Perhaps it's a bit like how you started this video with the full intent to like, subscribe, comment, and share, but will settle for sitting through a 60-second dog food ad as means for support. Stay right there. Sundays for Dogs has paid to be mentioned at the end of this video. They make dog food that's over 80% meat compared to the approximate 30% of a typical brand. It's real food containing nothing but the kind of ingredients that you might eat yourself. These little chunks were gently air-dried to preserve nutrition, not roasted at high temps to maximize shelf life. Give one of these nuggets a squeeze and you will feel the textural difference. It is as easy to feed as kibble. You just open the bag, scoop it, and serve it. Here's Grandpa and Darla eating their bowl full of Sundays for Dogs beef flavor. Look at them munching every last piece off of those handmade slow feed bowls. What bougie canines. Look at them negotiating with their lawyer regarding my use of their likeness in a paid advertisement. The diet of real meats and superfoods is clearly making them too powerful. Hey, you're planning on making a fancy, fresh spinach dish tonight, right? Well, your sweet doggy deserves a diet as fresh and nutritious as yours. Make the switch to Sundays today and get 50% off your first order using my link or my code Shaquille50 at checkout below. I put a link on the screen and a clickable one down in the description if you don't want to type it all out.